So right off the bat, I want to acknowledge I'm not in my usual space, but the summer's kind of waning, and I just wanted to get out and do a little walk and talk. Maybe I'll call this Scattered Thought Saturdays. How's that sound? I'll just throw out real quick that I don't want this to be like boring because I'm like walking, so maybe I'll do something visual to keep it interesting. Like, and I'll do it like there. Now it's a whole vibe. All right, we've cultivated a vibe, and we're gonna keep rolling. Pretty good. Yeah, I don't know. I was just kind of like randomly thinking about luxury, as I'm sure you all do, and I obviously do. I can't remember what kind of got me on this thought process, but maybe it was the whole Louis Vuitton $160. God, I'm gonna have to run across the street to not get hit by this guy. Louis Vuitton lipstick. I made a little dumb short about it, but I'm not like upset about it or anything. Obviously, I think it is what it is. Like Louis Vuitton, especially, they keep rising their prices, but everyone's raising their prices. It's kind of the whole luxury thing, and I guess that's kind of what got me on the thought. Is like we talk about what is luxurious about that experience of paying a lot of money for something, because that's kind of all luxury has boiled down to. I made another video about the whole Laura Piana scandal and how like it kind of means nothing anymore because, you know, the products themselves aren't sustainable. They're made with bad labor practices. They aren't as high quality as they used to be. Some of them are, of course, but like, you know, even beloved Daddy Rick, you know, the examples I've seen of people's stuff breaking after like a couple wears, which is insane. And it might be an outlier, but still, that should not be happening. So when you break down what about any of this is like luxury, I was just thinking about it, and I wanted to go back to like the definition, right? If you think about something that is luxurious in your life, like I often think of it as like, ooh, indulgent, or just an experience that's really a pleasure to engage with in all aspects. So if you were to think about like a luxury car, right? It has like premium materials, leather seats. It has a bunch of high-tech features that creature comforts that make the ride smoother, and etc., etc. And they'll often throw in like other things, like, I don't know, you buy a special kind of car and they'll give you like a jacket or something stupid like that. I don't know. They're supposed to like wait on you a little bit more. So if you think about the traditional definition of what a luxury experience would be, or like luxury fashion, it should be high quality materials, high quality construction and craftsmanship. You know, a really solid experience from a customer service standpoint. And yes, you're going to be paying more, but they should kind of treat you like you shouldn't be feeling like you're a second-class citizen. I think if there's nothing luxury experience about that. And along with that, maybe a sense of exclusivity. So I guess in thinking about that and how like luxury has evolved over time, you know, you look at, not to do like a history lesson, but like what I'm talking about was kind of true like 200 years ago, right? You know, the original like ateliers that kind of founded these dinosaur companies that are still around, that we all know and love, the Louis Vuittons of the world and stuff. They made clothes and goods and services that pretty much fit to a T what I was describing there. Higher quality materials, higher quality, like they were the best luggage makers in the world, right? And that really has changed. I think things like the Industrial Revolution, where creating goods and services became easier. Services didn't become easier, that's stupid. Creating, you know, consumer-facing goods became easier. So over time, the fact that these things don't require the ultimate level of craftsmanship or materials or whatever, materials themselves becoming easier to source and find. I mean, I often laugh, like, we need to take a step back sometimes in our lives and realize how good we have it. That like, wars used to be fought over what I have in my spice rack, right? The fact that I can go to my kitchen and get cardamom when they used to have to like go across 2 oceans and take over a country, you know what I mean? So the materials thing kind of also not that hard to get anymore. Labor has become cheaper than ever because you can just go to some other country and exploit their workforce. Even though luxury tries to say that they don't do that, they clearly do. Hence the Loro Piana scandals, or in some cases like Balenciaga. Again, I love them, but they just straight up were like, yeah, we're going to go to China. Cool. Is that cool with you guys? We're also going to raise the prices at the same time. Sick? All right, cool. So, over time, I think even the luxury houses have had to play this like shell game where they've had to convince us what makes them still luxury, right? And I really think they've done a great job because people are fiending over it. And maybe that's reduced a little bit in recent time as we've talked about the issues with LVMH and Kering Group and whatever. But people love it, okay? They're buying it in droves. So clearly the fact that these that the definition has changed over time hasn't dissuaded them at all from purchasing. And what it really boils down to, I think, is that exclusivity, right? And this is not a groundbreaking thought, but when you think about, okay, what is luxury about an experience where I have to pay a lot more and it's not good quality or whatever, or it's the same quality and the same craftsmanship, and in some cases worse than I could get for a much cheaper price and kind of a more luxury experience. That's not to go on too much of a tangent, but it is Scatterday, as we've said and identified the name of this series. The whole idea of like going into a store and being like talked down to or followed around, I know that's not why they follow you around, but it kind of gives that feeling. Like, that's actually worse, I think, service than you'd get in a lot of places. I will say, the last time I bought from LV, like I bought some glasses, it shipped in a very nice box. It was very fast shipping. Like, that actually did feel pretty good. But I've had, I've had conversations with SAs in luxury stores that like never got back to me once. And that's not what they're supposed to do, So in a lot of cases, I think the customer service aspect of a regular old retail store is more luxurious than that. And so again, it comes down to this idea that what's really luxurious about it is that in a post-scarcity society, and that's key, and you could say we're not there, but we're much more post-scarcity than we used to be. What is luxurious is that you can have something that someone else can't. Okay? And that's both a kind of nasty thing, crossing the street, trying not to get killed. That's both kind of a nasty thing, but also a thing that it kind of gets you, right? I think everyone feels that to some extent. That's why capitalism works so dang well, because we just naturally want what other people can't have. You want a sense of exclusivity. You want to be special. You want to have the cool tattoo or the chiseled abs, right? If it was easy and everyone could get it, you would not want it. I think you experience this anytime you see, like, you're looking for something, a piece of furniture or whatever, and you come across the furniture that's really expensive, and all of a sudden you're like, kind of want that expensive furniture over the crappy regular stuff, right? Maybe that's just me, but I doubt it. So, really, to get back to the idea of like post-scarcity, the reason I bring that up is because, again, before, you had very limited access to the best seamstresses, the best materials in the world. And as that stuff has become more and more ubiquitous, I often laugh because, like, I try to get, nice stuff. And I'm like, oh, this is great. This is a Rick Owens tank top, okay? This is silk and viscose. Viscose, not that much to write home about, but silk certainly. It's a very nice tank top. It's my nicest tank top. Imagine that. And it's very good, but is it so much? Like, I could get a silk tank top for a lot less than this, just from some regular guy, and maybe it wouldn't look as cool or have the right cut or whatever, or the dick flap that we all love, which I tuck into my shorts so I don't look super weird while walking around my neighborhood. But it's close enough, right? And the reason that used to be luxurious is because you have to go to the Silk Road and trade with a at a bazaar 500 miles from your house. That's no longer the case. I can go on Amazon and get a silk tank top, right? Maybe not Amazon, but you feel me. And what's really funny is, like, a lot of the time I'll get compliments or comments on things that I've literally bought at Amazon, more so than I do like a luxury good, right? So in a world where that is the case, it really does make you wonder, like, okay, so then why not just buy from Amazon all the time? And I do think there's something to be said for that. You don't want the exploitation that maybe that comes with buying from Amazon. But again, as we've said, just because you're buying luxury doesn't mean you're actually not getting clothes made by slave labor or whatever. The Loro Piana scandal, I'll point to it again. I think you should make your best effort to not do that. But none of us are going into the factory and looking at what they're doing. Even a lot of these scandals have come from places like, I think Dior, maybe it was Dior. One of them said, like, yeah, or maybe it was Loro Piana. They said, like, yeah, we don't know what's going on with our factories. Straight up. Like, they never visit these places. I think Fashion Roadman made a video about that. Like, he has gone to factories more than some of these, like, material suppliers or whatever do. Or not suppliers, but whatever word I can't think of right now. Okay? So, I guess what I want to come down to is to say, in all that, we all have to make choices about what we're going to buy or whatever. I think every person should, if they're buying clothes or buying luxury specifically, think about what they really want to get out of it. Because, again, going back to that Amazon example, and where I think, like, some retailers, like the one I'll focus on is Quince. I saw some things recently about, it was like a business fashion thing, I think, talking about how Quince, God, that wind is probably going to kill these microphones, but whatever, Scatterday. How Quince is killing it right now. And I hear, like, podcast ads for Quince all the time. I've thought about buying some stuff from Quince because I like cashmere, and they got, like, Mongolian cashmere and stuff, and it's pretty cheap. I wonder when the scandal will come out about their labor force. But anyway, why Quince is doing so well is because I think a lot of people have seen through this and said, hey, I want cashmere, but if you have ever looked at what Rick Owens charges for boiled cashmere, well, let's just say it's a lot. And nothing that I would feel really comfortable just dropping casually. And also, as we've kind of covered, it's a little absurd to do so. Especially when you're not going to get, like, I can see the appeal of buying a sweater, and I've done it, covered in, Gucci monogram, because at least then people know that it's Gucci. I hear a lot of criticism for that, but, like, again, as kind of the thesis of this whole video, if you're buying luxury brand, you're doing it for the logo, man. You can tell yourself you're doing it for the sustainability or whatever, or the high quality craftsmanship. I don't think that's the case, or the cut or whatever. And that's something else to be said. Like, certainly with, like, again, to go back to, like, a Rick or something like that, or in the case of, like, a Eddie Slimane piece, you know, a lot of time I am genuinely buying it because it has, like, an interesting cut. Like, again, this tank, I don't know that I could get anything that's cut exactly like this. I'm sure there's some knockoff bullcrap, but anyway, I guess all I'm meaning to say is that if you want to buy luxury, really think about what luxury means to you. I've been actually really interested to drop another name, like Suit Supply recently. I bought some stuff from there. Very, like, nice materials. I'm shocked sometimes at the prices at some places like Sandro. I was looking at Sandro recently, and I was like, oh, Sandro's got some nice stuff, right? And I look at it, and I'm not saying it's bad, but like, it's a lot of like poly, acetate, you know, not real materials in their stuff. And I'm like, how are they charging this much? It's a lot for, you know, the same stuff that you'd get at H&M or whatever, same material. And I've literally gotten in arguments with people online that are like, not all synthetic fibers are made the same. Granted, fine, but I think most of us are looking for silk, cashmere, wool, cotton, etc. And that's where like I've been impressed and suppressed by Suit Supply. You know, if you look at their stuff, most of it is like a silk cashmere blend, something like that. Now, again, the one caveat I'll say is I do have a sweater from them that has like some decent pilling to it. I think this is kind of part of the territory and how much I've worn it, but you know, maybe there is something to be said for like not all cashmeres are made the same. Your mileage may vary. I'm just saying, explore your options and explore what it really means to you to buy luxury. If what you think of as luxury is nice materials, nice craftsmanship, a luxury experience where they treat you right, maybe like good labor practices, stuff like that, I don't think you want to be looking at these, you know, quote unquote luxury designer brands. As much as I like them and I like that, if you want exclusive, just be honest with yourself about it. That's all, I guess. You know, I'm fairly honest with myself. I like to think like, I literally bought, I think I mentioned this in another video, this past Christmas I bought 3 monogram sweaters. I was just on a kick, I don't know. But I literally was saying to myself like, I want to flash a little logo, all right? I ain't above admitting that. And I thought the sweaters were cool, whatever. Don't judge me. But, you know, be honest with yourself and also just know that there are alternatives to that traditional designer feel that can give you that same experience or a much better one. The only other like avenue I'd say in this area is like it's kind of like a more traditional like male fashion type mindset, but clothes that are like kind of buy it for life type. So like selvage raw denim, you know, buying some really solid boots that are like Goodyear welted and repairable. I think that's another angle that is not luxury, but it does fall into the category of nice materials made really well, and I think generally done with good practices. Like a lot of that like workwear stuff still has like made in America type heritage, which is cool. It's the only reason why I say it's not luxury, quote unquote, is it's more workwear and more traditionally it's not like for feeling really like ooh, posh and luxurious and it's nice suede and all that, you know, and it's meant to get down and dirty a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So, but I think that it's a similar ballpark of like something that maybe you want to explore and get more interested in, just buying nice stuff that's going to last and also not be insanely expensive. Because social media has broken our brains a little bit, I think. I don't want to switch tangents too late in this video. I should probably be wrapping it up, but maybe I'll get into that another day, another scatter day. Just talking about, I think what really kind of set all this whole thing off is social media and seeing, along with post scarcity, seeing that, oh, everyone can get, you know, designer stuff. Or at least look at so-and-so, they have it. Why can't I have it? And it's a mindset that's kind of destructive. So, but that's for another day. I think I'm gonna leave it alone for now and enjoy the rest of my walk on this nice August day. Everyone's haunting me, both literally and figuratively, with there's a store down the street from me that says it's Halloween time. No, it's not. In fact, Halloween is over 2 months away, but we just can't wait to get to the next thing. Let those of us who enjoy summer enjoy it, okay? Though fall fashion is better, I will admit that, obviously. Okay, we're going on too long. Y'all have a good one, all right? And think about what I said, for real. And do subscribe to this channel. I'm sorry I'm not in my usual spot, or if you like it, you're welcome, all right? And leave a like. Personally, I like that, okay? Have a good one, guys. Peace.